Hello ladies and gentlemen. So this video is going to be more for the gentlemen ladies, but if you want to listen in and see if this is exactly what you are also looking for, instead of that long 2-page list of requirements for a man, then feel free. Without further ado, let's get started, shall we, men? What do women want from us? Number 1, protection, de-escalation. If you want a woman to be your peace, your light, she needs to feel safe enough to shine, as bright as needed to heal. At the end of the day, men, women are, in my opinion, naturally healers. We want to help. We want to heal. We can't heal if we don't feel safe. Now, this does not mean that we need to be in a safe area as far as outside or the township or the state or country. A woman can feel safe with you even if she's not in the safest area. And that's the big difference between knowing if you are a protector or not. Your woman needs to be able to feel safe with you no matter where you two are. If a woman can feel safe with you, then she can be your peace. She will be your light, and she will do everything she can to help support you. Standing your ground. Men, you are the first line defender of your house. You are the first line defender. Who the heck is going to be there when the intruder comes in? You are. But it doesn't just stop at intruder. And that's something I think a lot of young men don't understand. It doesn't just stop with the intruder. Being a first line defender of the house is a non-ending job. It never ends. And the good women will know this. And they will respect that. Because your job never ends. You never let it end. Because the one time that you don't see a punch coming, your family may die. At the end of the day, she's not just going to give over man of the house. She's not just going to give over head of the household title. She's not just going to give that over to you. You need to earn it. As a man, you need to prove that you are the foundation of your family. You are the first line defender of your family. You need to be aware of the different threats, and you need to be able to spot them. If someone's coming up to you and your family, you need to sit there and think, why are they coming up? What's their intention? No, it's not fair, but it is the way relationships have always been. I know we're starting to get away from that because of modern women saying that they can defend themselves, but at the end of the day, what society is trying to push is not going to make you happy. It's not going to make her happy. And it sure as hell ain't going to keep your kids safe. So we need to get back to the basics. Back to what was done back in the day that worked. And men being the first line defenders of the house, that worked. And this also goes for your woman. So men, you need to stand your ground as far as your woman goes. You never tell a woman what you don't like or can't allow. First off, that's asking for trouble. 2, that's giving her excuses. What you'd say, instead, is tell her what behaviors you will not accept for your long-term relationship. And say it like that, men. These are behaviors I can't accept for my long-term relationship. That is part of standing your ground. If you don't want her going out with her friends, then say, I'm sorry, but this behavior I cannot accept for my long-term relationship. And be ready to walk away, men. You need to be ready to get all of your stuff packed within 30 minutes and out that door. So, men, learn to stand your ground as far as women are concerned. Learn the manipulation tactics that are generally used on people, so you can know when it's being used on you or your family. This is important. You are the first line defender of the house. Don't let society, friends, or family, or her, manipulate you. Because if those 4 can manipulate you, your family is not safe. Learn to walk away. Learn to cut out bad influences in your life. Drive, passion, purpose. Ooh, you've heard this, I'm sure, in the manosphere so many times. Well, I'm sorry, men, they are right. The reason why they are right? 1, men naturally need a purpose. They need a reason. Whether it's for society, whether it's for their job, career, whether it's for their family, they need a reason. It's just how men are wired. Just like women are wired to be social, Men are wired to have a purpose. So you need to find one. Could be anything from thinking back to when you were a young kid, something that interests you as a young kid, or a hobby that you had as a young kid. Maybe you could turn that into a purpose. So say you really loved gardening or being out with your family and working with the soil. Great, go be a landscaper. Start your own landscaping business. At the end of the day, men, anything that an interest that you had as a kid, and keep in mind that as children, we love these things when we're young, without society pressure. So we're going to love things when we're children without society telling us, no, you don't need to love that because that's not going to make any money. So why don't you figure out what you loved when you were younger and then see if you can turn that into a purpose. See if that you can turn that into a business. There's always, where there's a will, there's always a way. And not to mention, if you want kids, you need to have the drive to push forward, to adapt to a different situation, to move mountains. So men, find a purpose. Find your drive. Even if it's that primitive, what all the women say, primitive aggression. Find it. Bring it out. And now focus it. Love. And I'm not talking about S, guys. I'm not talking about that. Yes, women love that. And I'm dead serious, guys. If she doesn't initiate at least 5 times a year, she's not all that interested in you. Keep that in mind, please. So, the first year of your relationship, you should be able to tell if she's really interested in you. At least 5 times. End of story. Now, as for the non-sexual intimacy, we're talking about cuddles, hugs. You need to be able, as a man, because again, you are the first line defender, most good women are going to sacrifice most of their life for their family. So what I mean when I say that is that she's going to be so focused on the children, she's going to be so focused on helping you, she's going to be so focused on the house that she tends to forget about herself, to the point where she might let a hair appointment slip. She might not worry about her nails that month, or you'll start to see she starts slipping in some of those areas. So it is really your job as her man to sit there and give her a hug and say, go get your nails done. I'll take care of the kids. And the reason why is because if she's a good woman and she's looking after you and she's looking after the kids and she's looking after the house, she is going to tend to forget sometimes to look after herself. And that's why you as the man comes in and reminds her, go take care of yourself. Cuddles, hugs. Again, you're not getting out of cuddles, men. Stop asking if you can get out of cuddles. It's not going to happen. That is essential to being a woman. You have to understand, when women, the hugs from our protector, from our man, is almost like a sanctuary. It feels like a sanctuary. So you're not going to get around it. It's just not going to happen. And you don't always have to talk either. If she's upset and you realize that she's upset, sometimes just a simple hug is going to be more than enough to open her up into either talking to you about it or just, maybe she doesn't even want to talk. She just wants the hug. So, again, guys, it's very important. If she's a good woman, non-sexual intimacy is something that women really do need. We do crave it. We need that. It's just who we are. Problem solver, and this could be mental or hands-on, as in you solve problems, either you can figure them out quickly in your head, or maybe you're just a hands-on type of person, a bit more redneck. And the other one I tend to put together with it is stimulation, learning from. And the reason why is because generally if a woman is with a man that can solve problems faster than she can, she's learning from him. Now, stimulated can mean 2 different things. And one of them is you learn from. Most good women, most real, honest women, I should say, most women that want long-term relationships, they will not get into a relationship with a guy unless they respect the guy. And that's why I've put a lot of those other points first, because if you lose those first few points, she will lose respect for you. And unfortunately, men, there's a common lie that communication is key to a relationship. It's not. It's respect. If a woman loses respect for you, you will never get it back. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 10 years down the road. If she lost respect for you once, you'll never get it back. She will never look at you the same. End of story. I know women sit there and say, oh, but people can change. The problem is they act the same way. Your past will determine your future relationship with a girl. Again, if she loses at all any respect for you, she won't even tell you. She won't tell you. Women don't tell you. All of a sudden, you suddenly get the cold shoulder. And it's almost instant. It's like cold water was just doused over your head. Unlike what a lot of people say, communication, while it is important to a relationship, it is definitely not the most important. Respect is. Stimulation and learning from... You just learn from your man. So generally speaking, most women are going to end up with a man because they generally marry up. And I'm not talking about just status. They generally marry someone that is going to almost complete them, that knows a lot about the things that they don't know. So whether it's, who knows, you could be a doctor, you could be, a physicist. If you know something that she can continuously learn from you. I mean, heck, you could be a simple mechanic, but you could know how to fix and redneck every car out on the streets. Then that's something she can learn from. And be a little unpredictable, guys, too. This is, I think, a very huge part of being in a relationship, especially long term. If you were unpredictable in the beginning, continue to be unpredictable. And it could be something very simple as smacking her behind. I know, there's all these TikToks that women don't like it after 5 years. Ignore it. Who cares? If your woman doesn't like it, maybe it's time to walk away. And if she doesn't like it, try picking her up. I guarantee you she won't complain. If you randomly come up and just pick her up and start carrying her, I guarantee you she will never complain again about the smacks on the behind. But be a bit unpredictable. Be random. It doesn't need to be flowers and chocolates and all this other stuff. It really doesn't. Believe it or not, even though that's what women say they like, in all reality, it doesn't keep a woman long term. What keeps a woman long term is learning when she has enough respect for her man because he fits these points, not her laundry list. These points, the protection, standing your ground, drive, love, stimulated, and problem solver. When she has respect from her man because he fits these points, that is what helps a long-term relationship. At the end of the day, men, my channel is only for entertainment purposes. Because as I've said over and over again, men aren't supposed to take advice from women. And women never listen to women. And there's a lot of things women can change too. Don't get me wrong, men. But on this channel, we call out both sexes. We're not sexist towards one. We call them both out. So these are just things that, as far as you're concerned, what do women want from us? This is the real list, not her 2-page list of requirements that she put down. This is the list you need to focus on, because this is the list, and whatever other list you find, because again, good advice will generally be repeated over and over again. You'll end up finding it in like 5 different places, or 5 different creators, or 5 different people or men have said it. You'll notice that it'll be repeated. Don't listen to any woman who sits there and has a 2-page list of requirements. She's not worth your time. She has unrealistic expectations. Probably, to be honest, because she could get the 9 or 10 men to sleep with her, even though she's only like a 5. Unfortunately. So she's going to have unreal expectations of what her value is. And you want a woman more down to earth about her value. Especially about the fact that her value is going to decrease as she gets older. As I said, I'm really just trying to help. You don't have to take my advice. But if you find that there's some of my advice tends to be mirrored among other creators that you've listened to, try it out. I think you'll be surprised at the difference than you sitting there trying to buy her all the flowers and all the cheat codes to dating. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our video. If you have any questions or stories of your own, make sure to comment below or email me. And if it's really good, I will work on getting it into future videos. Like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.